Hi guys, this month's prompt was food illustration suggested by Nadya, and when I saw it I immediately had an idea for what I'd like to do, but that idea kind of evolved once I started planning it out. You might know already, but I'm really in love with the Ghibli movies. I'm just a massive fan of animation in general anyway, but their hand-painted backgrounds and scenes that they do, I love them, I'm obsessed. So one of my favourite parts of their films are the food scenes that they do. They always make food look so delicious, and I really wanted to try and imitate that style in my own food illustration this month. But I realised pretty quickly that I haven't really painted food before. Maybe the odd apple or fruit, as you're growing up, but never a meal, so I decided maybe I should rein myself in a bit this month and take this more as an opportunity to learn a bit of technique, learn a bit of skills on this, and try and see what makes those food illustrations look so tasty. I was also kind of gifted these pastel Posca pens from Emily, and I've been really excited to give them a go too, so these food studies are kind of me experimenting on two fronts at once. It was an interesting combination, and though I think I made some massive mistakes along the way, like the disgusting bacon, that looks awful, but yeah, I actually really enjoyed just drawing these and being very experimental with them. I don't know the rules or how it should look, or could look, using these pens. So I just kind of went with ideas as they came to me and just saw what results happened from them. Using the Ghibli images as references too made me notice lots of different details in their style and how they do their paintings that I don't think I really noticed until I was trying to imitate them, and in particular reducing the details to, work with the Posca pen's limited colour palette. It kind of offered two different challenges. I was forced to just think a bit more graphically, and depicting the shadows through bright colours was kind of an interesting challenge too. And yeah, there's a lot of interesting choices in how they depict food and effects like the shines or the oil bubbles that they do. There's just a lot of fun with opacity when they've painted, and I think it'd be really fun to try and use those techniques, maybe when doing this with watercolours or digitally. So yeah, I'm definitely going to consider that next time I go on to do a food illustration, which I'm definitely going to do after this. Overall, I really loved this prompt. I thought I would like it, to be honest, but not as much as I actually did. I think starting this year, I've been feeling maybe a bit creatively drained, and I had all these crafts and ideas for Christmas, so I was really busy back then, but then as soon as the new year hit, I kind of felt a bit lost, and this was such a challenge, just with it being something completely new and using new tools. It just gave me a kickstart again, and I couldn't recommend more just doing something similar if you're also in a rut. Just changing medium or looking at a favourite artist of yours and trying to mimic their style for a bit, just trying to learn something from them. Instead of that, it kind of changes what you're doing from, I have to fill this white page with something completely creative and new and all my own. And you're just turning more into like an analysis, like an experiment, and you can just be creative that way instead. And yeah, I don't know, it takes a lot of pressure off, I think. So yeah, I don't know, it was a good thing for me, I think, this time, so I definitely recommend it. And plus, it was a couple of hours max, but when you're done, it's like, I've accomplished something, and it's not a big deal now for me to actually do those big creative projects, because, I've already done something, I can see it. So yeah, small and messy, always the best way to start. That should just be my description of myself, shouldn't it? Small and messy. Add it to my profile. Anyway, that's how my bento and bacon and eggs turned out. Hopefully the bacon didn't, turn you vegan or make you lose your appetite completely, because, we've got a lot of wonderful art from the rest of the Prompt Squad where they've depicted much more delicious looking food. So I'm really excited to show you what everyone did for this month's prompt. Wise created this brilliant surreal illustration for the prompt, and I think that my favourite part, beside the fact that it seems to be a starfish and a gingerbread man sailing on a banana on this lovely sunset date together, is the fact that Wise has kind of focused on the illustration side of this prompt rather than the food part, which is how I just initially read it. And I love that idea, this, taking the food and bringing it as part of a character rather than the focus in the story. I think that's such a clever idea, and he did such a great job with it. It's such a fun piece of art. And yeah, I think it turned out fantastic. Troy's pencil illustration is a bit too good, to be honest. He's been making me crave pizza this entire month because I saw it so early. I mean, it sounds kind of odd to say this, but I really love the way that Troy has drawn the shine on the grease of the cheese. I don't think I've ever appreciated cheese shine in an art piece before, but Troy did it. I mean, I think Troy's illustration here really excels in kind of picking out those type of details like food textures and finding interesting and beautiful ways to design them so it actually looks aesthetically pleasing and makes you hungry. Or at least does for me anyway. Oh gosh, I love the vibrancy of Sammy's illustration this month and all those details. It definitely is one of those paintings that you can just lose yourself in the details of. I don't want to ruin the inspiration behind this piece because I hope you'll check out Sammy and the rest of the Prompt Squad's Instagram pages so you can see, the original work and what else they do through the months. But I will say that Sammy mentioned that this idea came from a dream, and I think that really comes across in her piece. It's so fantastically surreal and layered. It's just such a beautiful piece of art. Farrfotos took one of her favourite meals of ramen and drew this stunning pen and ink piece of her dish. I really love the different styles and techniques that she's done, especially in the shading. All those different textures are illustrated wonderfully. I think the bold might be my favourite part though, just because of that dry ink technique that she's done to give the textured ceramic feel. I wouldn't have had a clue how to illustrate food in black and white, but I think she's done a masterclass in this one, A star. Twyrob has embroidered this happy little aubergine for the prompt. I'm going to have to start some kind of super inclusive aubergine tier to the Prompt Squad at this rate. Or just, dedicate a prompt to eggplants some month, I don't know. But yeah, my mum has used this mixture of paint pens and stitching to create her own little aubergine character, inspired by the, old Prompt Squad aubergine art club that's here with us. Say that 10 times faster. But yeah, I think it's simply adorable. It's a little cheeky smile, very cheeky smile. It's just fantastic. I really love that mixed media technique. I think it works very well. Em created two gorgeous drawings for this prompt. I think they're kind of like motivational vegetable posters. And I think this first one, though, is especially funny. I really like the idea of the seductive eggplant going, you know, full Titanic. Like, yeah, I don't know, I just love how sweet Emily's, like, chibi-esque characters are. She's very good at designing cute characters, and I love these, like, positive vibes of these pieces. They're very, like, just cheery. They just make you happy, make you want to smile, and I can't say any great compliment than that. I think it's a really fantastic thing to be able to do in your art, and yeah, I think they're fantastic. Dave did a mixture of prompts as he's super efficient. He did this drawing your style of Ashy2K's artwork on Instagram, and it still has, though, all of his wonderful signatures. You know, we've got the ears, we've got that lovely colour palette, and I think especially what I want to pull out this time is the shaping of his characters. I really think that's how Dave's artwork stands out for me, like how he mixes more simple shapes to create these lovely, like, graphical designs in his characters. I just think it's really nice, and I think a very fun thing with these Draw This in Your styles is the fact that you can compare and contrast the artwork, and I think it really, you know, shines those things like knowing shapes and colours and your own design flavours, you know. I think they really come across in these, and yeah, I think it shows really well in Dave's piece on this challenge. I think it works fantastic. Nadya is trying to make me hungry as well because she's drawn this amazing, like, corn double cheeseburger here. I love the idea of this being the photo reference that you use because, you know, you remember being back in school in art class and you use some random old fruits or looking mouldy. Can you imagine if you had this on the table instead? Such inspiration. I think Nadya just did a great job depicting the different elements of the burger too, especially the bread with that natural, like, coloured shading. I think getting the right colours for food is one of the biggest difficulties to have, really, and Nadya's just blended some beautiful colours for her piece. I think it looks really good with that. Oh, Sean, why do you have to do this to me? It's January and you paint this gorgeous giant lollipop here? Come on. Honestly, I can't get over this painting though. I think it's the reflection on the lolly and the way that Sean's, like, layered the paint while he's painted to just add all these different light levels to it. It's really kind of like a complex piece of glasswork when you think about it, you know, that, like, oval, like, circular shape going on. It's a really hard thing to kind of imagine and know how to paint, but I think Sean's really evoked that shine and texture of the candy very well. I mean, even the wrapper looks good. Come on. I mean, I'm going to have to move on, Sean, because I'm making me too hungry. It's very impressive, though. Really good work. And finally, master of the aubergines herself, it's Zoe. Queen Aubergine, as we could call her. But yeah, I couldn't believe this is one of the first digital paintings that Zoe has done. It's insane. It's so impressive. I love the way that she's played with depth and with the sharp and soft focus brushes that she's used. And the characters of the aubergine and the tomato are just both too cute. They're going to make some lovely ratatouille together for Valentine's, I imagine. But yeah, if this is where you're starting, Zoe, I can't wait to see where you're going to take your digital art to, because it's fantastic. I can't stop smiling at it. I think it looks really good, especially for your early artwork with digital. I mean, mine did not look this good. It's fantastic. And yeah, oh gosh, that's everyone's this month for Promptsquad. Unbelievable. It's like the fastest it's been for me for a long time. As always, everyone's links are going to be down in the description too, so please make sure you check out their other artwork too. Everyone's so prolific in the Promptsquad, it's just nice to kind of highlight some of the work that they make, even if it's just in these shorter videos. I think, you know, these artists, they need some people to, like, just go, come on, look how good this is. And I really hope that you'll check out the rest of the work that they make, both this month and in other months. You know, we've got a lot of great artists who take part. And yeah, if you'd like to join as well and become part of that, I have good news. I've got the wheel updated, it's all ready, so let's give it a spin and see what the next prompt's going to be. It's nail and or body art suggested by Farrfotos. I have been so intrigued with this one since adding it to the wheel, because I think everyone's going to have a very, like, fun and different view of this one. So if you'd like to take part in next month's prompt, just create a piece of art, any medium, any style, just whatever you want to do that is inspired by the prompt, nail and or body art. And make sure to add the hashtag Promptsquad when you post so I can find it and feature it and your details in next month's video. Maybe, I don't know, you'll design your own body art, or do it on yourself, or, you know, I don't know, make your own nail art and put it on your own hands, I don't know. Or maybe just create a character that has body art. It's going to be really interesting. I think there's so many different ways to take this one, so I'm really excited to see what you guys will do for it. The Prompt Squad is a small but mighty crew of eyes, so if you're feeling a bit nervous about joining in, please don't. Everyone's going to welcome you with open arms. It's a great motivator, even if it's just to make one thing this month, you know, and keep your creative juices flowing, especially in these dark winter months. It's just such a nice little challenge, and I really hope you'll give it a chance. The deadline for this is going to be the 1st of March, which I know is a bit short notice, guys. I'm sorry. It's because I'm late. And also, it's the short month of February. I know it's both working against us, but hopefully you'll have the chance to create something for this prompt, because I think it could be a lot of fun. And, you know, it doesn't have to be some giant wall masterpiece, you know, as many of you are able to do. Even something small would be really exciting to see, so I hope you get a chance. And yeah, I just hope you guys are all doing well, taking care of yourselves. Good luck with this next prompt, and I'll chat to you guys soon. Bye!